Peg's Yank, the man in the red shirt, he came home on a trip. A lot of them that time used to come home on a trip. Well, he came home at Shroff time, which was very handy, and there was a match made for him with Peg. Peg was a lady monitor teaching in the school, what we used to call a junior assistant mistress. So the Yank had jam and jam up in it. Well, a lot of those young people going to America in those days, they regarded New York as a place or state of punishment where some people suffered for a time before they came home and bought a pub, or a farm of land, or married into land, or business like Peg's Yank. And a great many succeeded. Over 40 years ago, walking through the Irish countryside, every second house you'd call into, either the man or his wife had been to America. Lots of young girls used to come home too. Well, they wouldn't be so young then after 15 years in New York, but they'd be young enough. And a match might be made for one of them with a farmer, and that young girl, she'd bring the farmer maybe $500. And if that farmer had an idle sister in the house, and by idle there now, I don't mean out of work. If the farmer had an idle sister in the house, that $500 would be her dowry, her fortune, and it would enable her to marry another farmer or the man of her fancy. And if that man had another idle sister, well, the $500 would be her dowry, and so on, and so on, and so on. The same $500 earned hard running up and down the steps of high stoop houses in New York City could be the means of bringing anything up to a dozen women under the blankets at home in Ireland. And all pure legal. There was no knowing the amount of people who would get married at that time between Chalk Sunday, that was the first Sunday after Christmas, and Shrove Tuesday. But queer times, as the cat said when the clock fell on him. No one would get married during Lent. If you weren't married in those days before Shrove Tuesday night, you could throw your hat with it. You'd be idle for another year, unless you went out to Skellig's Rock. That's where the monks kept the old time, Gregory time. And on Ash Wednesday morning, a document used to be pushed in under the door, as it was called, the Skellig's List. Oh, a broadsheet, scurrilous verse, lampooning all those bachelors who should have but didn't get married during Shroff time. There might be a verse like this. There's Mary the bridge and Johnny her boyfriend. They're walking out now for 21 springs. There's no ditch nor no dike that they haven't rolled in. She must know by now the nature of things. Oh, Johnny, says she, do you think we should marry and put an end for all time to this fooster and fuss? You're a Mary, says he, you must be near doting. Who do you think would marry either of us?